We probably had 100 ember attacks. Everywhere you could see there was a fire burning. It was just out of control, really.
Evan Nicholas is a dairy farmer here in the foothills of the Snowy Mountains. His family's been working this land near Corryong for 3 generations.
What's this area usually like?
This is known as God's country because it's the only part of the country that's not in drought.
Yeah.
And now it's black.
This country on the New South Wales-Victoria border was hit twice, on New Year's Eve and on January the 4th. At least 42 homes were destroyed and stock losses run into the thousands.
Is it still out in the paddocks or is it in the bush up there? Everywhere, it's burning everywhere now.
It was a rampaging fire. And I said, don't panic. The north winds are meant to last for 3 hours. So, you know, it'll burn that way for 3 hours and then we'll prepare ourselves for the south wind change at 6 o'clock. Anyway, the north wind only lasted for 10 minutes.
Conditions were so dire, the local CFA was in no position to help.
It was an evacuation day, so all outside help had been removed. It was only the neighbours, a few of them come up. In the end, it was just a bad day for everyone, really.
They saved the 2 family homes and the dairy, but 98% of the 1,500-acre farm went up in flames. The federal government's offered $75 grand to farmers in situations like this. Evan's damage bill tops $1 million, but at least some of that will be covered by insurance.
Like I watch tractors burn, cows burn, silage stacks burn. Normally you try your hardest to stop it, but this fire you just had to keep rolling back. Houses are important and lives are spoiled. I suppose lives are important.
Lives are important. More than 100 of their prized dairy cows had to be put down.
Luckily we got some good neighbours. They went down and dealt with the issue down there, so that was a nice relief.
Could you just not bring yourself to go?
Oh, yeah. Dairy cows are like pet dogs. You know, when we take a calf off a cow, we have it from day one to right through their life. I haven't been down there yet. There's a few of my favourite special cows that I'm hoping that when I go down there, they're still standing.
There is some outside assistance, but locals are getting together to help each other, pitching in to rebuild fences and clean up. More than 2 weeks later, many are still relying on generators for electricity, and power's not due to be restored for weeks.
How are you surviving in a dairy without power?
Well, luckily for us, we had a generator, so that gets the basics done.
And another big problem during the fires, the area's patchy mobile phone coverage.
The scariest thing for us was the day that it was all going to start. Early in the morning, we lost power pretty quickly. And then we lost service. You can't talk to the fireys, you can't talk to your neighbours. The family who are in Sydney or wherever are thinking, oh my God, we've lost them, they're gone.
The fire just missed Marianne Rossi's property, but her neighbours were hit hard. And when the fire came, the latest apps and online information services were useless.
Why don't you have mobile phone service here?
We were hit by fires in 2009 and we were identified as having black spots. So we've been identified as being in a black spot, as so many people are. But I think because we're a small community, we're on the bottom of the list.
Marianne's decided to take matters into her own hands to guarantee coverage. She's running a fundraiser to buy the area's own mobile phone tower.
I think that for us was like, this is now at the point of we're never going to be looked after. Let's do it ourselves. We're a close community, we're a lucky community, and everyone's like, yep, let's do it.
The community needs just over 200 grand to get the tower. It's called a cell on wheels, or a cow for short. It's a tower on a trailer and can be moved around to boost mobile reception in black spots. And it'd be managed by the local brigade, so it can make sure there's signal when the community needs it.
We are remote, we're a long way from everybody, so we're doing it ourselves.
We're doing it ourselves. We heard that a lot around Corryong. These aren't the sort of people used to relying on others for help.
Our Corryong town's a good community. We have footy sides that hate each other. I reckon this might nearly bring us together for a couple of months. We might get along with each other.
But along with donating to fundraisers, locals say there are other things we can do to help them get back on their feet.
A lot of city people want to help, they just don't know how to.
Yes.
Is there something they can do to help?
For a dairy farmer, buy cheese and milk. Just people need to buy Australian. That's what it comes down to, buy Australian.
And they're not alone. Hope they can start to feel that. Haven't seen a better reason for the Buy Australia campaign.
Absolutely.
Well
How
said.
stark is that imagery of where the fires burn and where they don't? A house just surrounded with green grass and then a metre that way. How frightening.
How long does it take to all grow back for them and get back to normal?
Oh, it'd be years, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it depends on how hot the fire burns. We've heard talk about cool burning fires in the last week, with Indigenous fire practitioners, but you look at those fires and you think they would have to be so hot, so it would burn down to the seeds.